Um, I was in the Air Force. I started off as a second lieutenant. I was a pharmacist in the Air Force. So, being a pharmacist, you're cross-trained as a triage nurse, basically, in case of war. So I did a lot of that type of training. Um, I was stationed mostly in California at Vandenberg Air Force Base, but I did times at Wichita Falls and Grand Forks, uh, Great Falls, Montana, um, in Mississippi, and in San Antonio. I've done time in several places. Uh, Usually, as moving around during my time in the Air Force was because they wanted me to help clean up pharmacies that either one didn't have a pharmacist, or two were having difficulties with the pharmacy running itself. So that was kind of my thing. My injuries were such that they came from, I felt like they came from my actual job, from standing on my feet 24/7, or what it felt like 24/7, but all the time on concrete floors, and just did a number on my back. Um, I didn't have a rating at all when I contacted you guys. I was struggling, to be honest with you, just walking, and I ran into a neighbor who's a very good guy, and also a retired Marine, and he said, "You got to do something. This is something you got to pursue because they can help you out." And I thought, well, I don't know. I'll try, but I'm not positive that I can how that'll work. And I started looking around, and I found Trajector, and I thought, well, let's give them a shot and see what happens. And that's where we started from. When I retired as a civilian, I didn't, I you think pharmacists make a lot of money, but they really don't. So I didn't have a lot of money, and I went to the VA to get my medical care, and they said that I should file for compensation and things like that. And I kind of hemmed and hawed about it, and I thought, nah, I don't want to. I don't really want to do that. I just want to kind of make it on my own if I could. And then it was funny. After they took good care of me during COVID, and then right after COVID started to go away, um, I'd have an appointment up in Portland, and I'd get a call from Portland saying, "Hey, you're not covered, don't come." And I thought, wait, I am covered. You've been taking care of me. And they said, "No, you're not covered." And then I'd call their main office, which is back in Georgia, and they said, "I don't know what they're talking about. You're covered just fine." And this would go on. This went on for like that for months. And I finally just said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore." They denied all my claims the first time through, which was uh, upper back, lower back, hips. I forget all of it, but that was all denied at first. And I went to a doctor out in Eugene for the VA to look at me, and they just it was like a once over thing, and no, we're not going to cover you. So I really, at that time when they denied everything, I thought, well, this isn't going to work out too well. But then you guys contacted me back and said, well, we need to resubmit and refile this, and you did, and I waited for a long time because it said that it would take when they got the paperwork, it said it would take 6 weeks. It was more like 4 months or longer, which is fine. At that point, I really didn't expect anything. And when I got a letter from the VA, I opened it up and I thought, oh, this is probably a denial, and I was set for a denial. But then I saw I got 10% for this, 20% for that, 50% for this. I was amazed. And then when I got down to it, it says you're 100% covered. And to me, it was like hitting the lottery, because now I've got medical insurance for everything I need. And it was an amazing thing for me and my wife. We were kind of struggling. We were thinking about moving anyway, because the place we were living is probably above our means. But now we have the ability to go be near our son, who lives in Florida, and get health care there There's a lot of VA centers there, so I'm looking forward to it.